Hello and welcome back to Simply Nihongo. We're continuing where we left off last time, and we have just talked to the station attendant. And now we're going to go visit the Ayashiro house. So this is a polite way of saying thank you. So, arigatou gozaimashita.
いえいえ、お気をつけて。
So yeah, it's like, no, kiyotsukete. So be careful.
Ayashiro家。メモにあったAyashiroというのはここのことで間違いないだろう。
Okay, so memo is the memo. Ayashiro to you wa, so the Ayashiro written in the memo. So we say koto no koto, so it's this place. Machigai nai, so no mistake. Daro, probably.
ここがAyashiro家か。とにかく話を聞いてみよう。
So we have tonikaku hanashi. So like anyway, let's go talk with them.
Go men kudasai.
It's kind of like excuse me. Go men kudasai.
はい。
この家の執事だろうか。門構えにふさわしいきっちりした身なりの人だ。
So Shitsuji is the butler. Mongamae ni fusashi. Let's see what Mongamae is. Okay, so the translation I see here says gate-equipped house. Okay. Next is fusawashi. Appropriate. Okay. Okay. Kichirishita. So another new word. Kichirishita. Punctual, exactly, precisely, meaning. Outfit. So I guess we can say here he is certainly dressed the part. So minari is like attire, clothing, personal appearance. Kichiri is exactly. Okay, so as appropriate for a house with a gate, he has dressed the part.
どこへ行っておられたのですか。心配しておりましたよ。
Okay, so we have dokoe, so where, itte. Did you go? Right, this is kind of more polite. No desu ka? Question. Shinpai, we've seen that before. To worry. Shite orimashita. I believe orimas is a humble form of saying imas. So it would be like shinpai shitemasu. It would be more humble form would be shinpai shite orimasu.
とにかくどうぞこちらへ。
So this way, kind of like come this way. Okay, so kono hito. Hito is person, so this person, boku shiteiru mitai. So this mitai here seems like, so it seems like he knows me. But, so we have a kedo, so this but.
それで 何か分かったことはございましたでしょうか？
Kind of like a therefore. Yeah, so 何か is something 分かったことはございましたかでしょうか? It's like, were you able to find anything?
すみません。あなたは僕のことをご存知なんですか？
Okay, so すみません excuse me. あなたは僕のこと So, you, me, my, about me, ご存知 So, do you know me?
実は僕
Okay, so we have 実は is like, actually, and then probably tells.
記憶喪失。
Okay, we get the memory loss again.
では依頼した調査の内容や私の名前まで忘れてしまわれたのですか？
Okay, so kind of like, there was also like, then, 依頼. So, 依頼 is request. This is something you'll see a lot in mystery stories. 調査 investigation, just like from the title screen. 内容 contents. Yeah, 私. So, 私 is even more formal form of 私. Same kanji, with different reading. And then 名前 is name. まで. So he's saying like, you've even forgotten my name. It's kind of like this made is like, even as far as my name until you have forgotten. So what's your take? If we try to remember,
何も思い出せない。
we don't remember anything.
よくお聞きください。
So yoku is well, and then okiki kudasai. Please listen. Please listen well.
私の依頼を受けたあなた様は調査内容を聞くために先日この屋敷へいらっしゃいました。
Okay. So, 依頼を受けた means to receive the request. And then, 調査内容. So, like the contents, like listen. So we want to say, in this tameni is in order to, like listen to the results of the investigation. Senjutsu is the other day. And Kono Yashiki, so came to this mansion. Irashaimashita.
その調査内容というのは先日亡くなりました当家の主綾代菊様についてでございます。
Okay, so that investigation is about the other day, so Senjutsu again. Nakunarimashita. This is a way of saying that someone has died. We use this for people. Toke, I believe Toke would be probably the head of the house. Okay, this house. Okay, so Toke is this house, and Aruji would be the head of the house. Ayashiro Kiku-sama ni tsuite de gozaimasu. So, Ayashiro is the family name, Kiku is the given name. Sama, polite, he's the butler after all. Ni tsuite, so about. So about Kiku.
思い出してくださいませ。
Let's see if we remember.
お医者様は心不全と診断されましたが、私にはただの病死とは思えないのです。
So Isha is doctor. We have Isha. So Shinfuzen. So looks like a heart failure. The Shin kanji is for heart. fu, zen. Fu is kind of like a no, like an un, I guess is a good way of translating. Zen, if we think about like beyond zen, maybe that's how it's related. So this is one tip for Japanese, is if you know these kanji, then you can piece together the meaning. So let's see. Yeah, heart failure. Okay. Shindan. My guess this is a judgment. This dan kanji is related to judgment, and this is a mi. So this is something you'll see with doctors. If a doctor sees you, they use this kanji. Okay, so diagnosis. So shindan is diagnosis, which makes sense. As for me, tada, just. So kind of like a simple tada no byoshi. So we have sick and death, so it's probably death by sickness. To wa omoi nai desu. So omoi nai is like I cannot think. That it's simply death by illness. He doesn't think it's just a simple death.
つまりキクさんは何者かによって
So sumari is like, in other words, Kiku-san wa nanimono ka ni yotte. So kind of official translation uses like, so are you suggesting that someone, which I think is probably the right way to translate this.
それを調査していただこうとこの屋敷へお呼びしたのです。
Okay, so それを調査していただこう. So that's that investigation. So this is why he's requesting this investigation. この屋敷, and that's why he calls him to this mansion. So called this mansion.
それなのにこんなことになろうとは。
So it's kind of like, despite that, こんなことになろうとか. So like, so despite that this thing happened, so like this thing happened, or like it's become like this.
ちょうどここまでお話しさせていただいたとき、あなた様にどなた様からかお電話がかかってまいりました。
Okay, so ちょうどここまで. So like right here. So ちょうど is like right. ここ and then like まで. So I guess he's only told us this much information before. お話しさせていただいたとき. So at that time. Someone, どなた. So to us. Someone from, so someone called us. 電話をかけてまいりました. So a phone call came from someone to us.
その電話の後、重要な情報が手に入るかもしれないとおっしゃって、この屋敷を出て行かれたではありませんか。
So after, ato is after, so after that phone call, 重要 is kind of like very important. We have the kanji for heavy, we have a kanji for like hitsuyo, which is like necessary. So put these together is like very important. It's a not adjective. 情報 is information. 情報 が手に入る. So kind of like can get. Obtain is I guess the right word. You could obtain information. かもしれない, so maybe. とおっしゃって. Let's see what we got from that. So it says to say and speak. Maybe this is a polite way of saying that. Which makes sense. We'll just say like, so this to particle often appears when you're quoting something. So we'll say like, you said you got important information, or you may be able to obtain important information. And date kareta. So he left the mansion. Okay, now what happens if we remember something?
何も思い出せない。
Still nothing? Okay, then let's ask about Kiku.
菊様は綾代商事の会長でしたが、78歳とご高齢の上、心臓が弱っておられたのです。
So, Ayashiro Shoji. So I guess Ayashiro is their name. Shoji, is that corporation? Okay. If it's Shoji Gaisha, then it would be a commercial company. So I guess still Ayashiro Shoji would be Ayashiro Corporation. Kaicho, so I guess that's the chairperson. So 78 sai. That is, she was 78 years old. To go kore. So let's see what kore means. Advanced age. Okay. Shinso, so that would be her heart. Yowatte oremashita. So yowai means weak. So he's just saying that it has gotten weaker. And yowaru. Yowaru. Okay, so yowaru is to weaken. So yowatte is, we'll just say it's the te form of yowaru.
そこで遺言書を作成されたのですが、遺言公開の直後にご自分の寝室で亡くなられてしまったのです。
Okay, so she made a will, it looks like. So Yuigonsho is will. Sakusei would have been the, I guess, the creation of the will. And then we have Yuigon again, so the will, Kokai. I guess basically when she revealed the will, Chokugo, I guess that would be directly after. Ni Gojibu no Shinsutsu. So Shinsutsu is the bedroom. We have the kanji for sleep and room. So that's how we can get bedroom. Yeah. Nakunarimasu. Okay, so nakunaru again is to die. And another note here is we have this te shimata. So it kind of expresses that feeling of regret.
ここまでお話ししてもまだ思い出していただけませんか?
Okay, so kokomai. Okay, so if we talk, so I guess talking until here, even if we talk until here, Mada still, do you still not remember anything? So this is, you can say it's slightly different than in English. In English, the official translation was, any of this ring a bell for you? I don't think a butler would say that, but anyway, something you can see in Japanese is generally you phrase things in a manner that gives people a polite way to decline. So basically to save face. So by phrasing this in the negative, we are able to say yes, that we cannot still remember. So it makes it so that we don't have to say no. So that's why he says it kind of like the opposite of how you would say it in English. In English, you will ask in a positive way, do you remember anything? But in Japanese, we phrase it as in a manner that the recipient can decline graciously and save their face. Let's try remember.
そうだ。確かにここで依頼を受けた。思い出したぞ。
That's good. So, like, that's right. 確かに、ここで依頼を受けた。So, received, investigation, here, kind of like, certainly? Yeah, certainly. Okay. 思い出した。So, I've remembered.
そしてあなたは、善蔵さんでしたね。
そしてあなたは、善蔵さんでしたね。
思い出していただけましたか。思い切ってお話ししてよかった。
So you remembered. 思い切ってお話ししてよかった。Alright, so here I will say the English sounds weird. The English says, the official translation says, you remembered. Okay, that part is fine. The part that I'm confused about is, they said, I am so glad I took the risk and told you. That just sounds weird, but in Japanese, it is more like he's amoikiru means to give up all thoughts of, to abandon, to despair. So like I had given up, but ohanashite yokatta, like I'm glad we talked. How would I have phrased that in English? But anyway, I think we get the idea, right? He had given up, but since he talked, he's glad that that resulted in remembering. Now we got an explanation. Setsume. 重要な情報の自動的に So this 自動的 would be automatically 調査メモに記録されます。So the 調査 memo is our like investigation notes. 記録 is like to record. メモ画面を見たいときはゲーム中 so in the middle of the game. Plus button. Press the plus button 押す。メニュー画面が表示されます。So it will appear. So if we press this. Okay. So we have that. メニュー画面の手帳を見る。So a 手帳 is a little bit like a hand notebook. All around it. So I guess that would be a pocket notebook then. You have the kanji for hand here. ボタンを押すと調査メニューを見ることができます。So this ことができます is you can do. So can do the thing of seeing the investigation memo. And then 調査メモを B ボタンを押すことでメニュー画面を戻ります。So if we press the B button, then the menu screen will return. So we can click on here. And we have a lot of stuff here. So here's Ayumi. I don't think we will read through all this. Machi, Kiku. We even have a portrait already. Okay. Station attendants, solves, the boss, and the butler. Okay, let's ask about the will.
キクさんの遺言書はどんな内容だったんでしょうか？
Okay, so we have the will again. Don't know what kind of contents. So basically asking like, can you tell us what was inside the will?
遺言公開にはご親戚の方々が立ち会われただけで、私にはちょっと分かりかねます。
So at the will, okay. So at the reading of the will, Shinseki is relatives. Katagata, let's see, just refers to people, but curious. Okay, I guess everyone? Okay. So just the people. So only people among her relatives. Tachi awa eta. So I guess this is attendance. 私にはちょっとわかりかねます。So I guess he does not know. So for me, like ちょっと, this word ちょっと can appear in a lot of places. It means a little, but it's also kind of like, you'll hear this often when people are like kind of declining in a more polite way. Okay, so let's ask about the relatives. Shinseki.
立ち会われた親戚というのはどなたですか？
So tachigawareta. So those who attended. So this attendance, so attended relatives. And we asked like, what type of people were they?
菊様の甥の綾代寛治様と次郎様、それに姪の春日あずさ様の3人様です。
Okay, so Oi would be the nephew, Mei is niece. You can even see in the kanji, we have a kanji that is male here, and the kanji for your woman here. Okay, so we have some names here. So kanji is one of the nephews, and Jiro is another. And then Kasuga Asusa. So Azusa is the niece. It's not entirely uncommon, but I guess you can say it's common enough that Japanese women may not have kanji in their name, just purely hiragana. I've known actually a few people who don't have kanji in their name. So it's, I guess you can say it's not uncommon to see that.
子供や孫ではなく、甥と姪なのか。
So kind of like this is a kodomo, so children. Yeah, mago is grandchildren. You can see here it's kind of like we have this child here, and then we also have a line here. I guess you could say that is continuing the line of children. So we're saying there were no children or grandchildren, Only the nephew and the niece. Let's see about asking more about those relatives. There's no indication, but I feel like we didn't get enough information.
親戚の方々について詳しく教えてくれませんか？
Okay, so about all the relatives, について about 詳しく in detail 教えてくれませんか? Again, we're phrasing this in the negative so that if he cannot do it, then he can be, it saves his face. So can you tell me about, in detail, about the relatives?
幹事様3人兄弟の長男で綾代商事の社長をなさっています。
Kanji-sama is the three people who are siblings, so kyōdai. 3 people siblings. Chonan means the oldest, so he's the oldest son. And he is currently the shacho. Shacho is like company president.
ご兄弟で一番末の次郎様は綾代商事の専務をなさっています。
So of the siblings, the youngest, Ichiban Sue, is Jiro. And he is Senmu. Senmu is special duty? Okay, senior managing director or executive director.
春日家へ嫁がれたあずさ様はご兄弟の2番目に当たられます。
So Kazuga-ke, so the Kazuga family, Totsugareta. So it's Totsugu. So this is passive, so to marry into the family. Okay. So Azusa was married into the Kasuga family. And she is Nibanme, that means the second. Let's ask about the relatives again.
皆さんはここに住んでいるんですか？
So minasan is everyone. Koku ni here. Sundeiru are living here.
皆様その日のためにお集まりになられたのでここに住んでおられるわけではございません。
So everyone that day, for that day, Atsumari is to gather. So they gathered for that day. Koko ni sunde orareru. Okay, wake is reason. De wa gozaimasen. So there is no reason for them to live here.
ただあずさ様だけはしばらくこちらにご滞在されるそうです。
So tada, so maybe like however. Azusa dake, so only Azusa. Shibaraku for a while. Kochira is another word for here. Ni go taisai. So I think taisai is like reside. Taizai. Stay, sojourn. Okay.
今はどちらかへお出かけのようでいらっしゃいませんが。
So now, ima is now. Dochiraka. So I guess that's somewhere. Odekake, so out. So it looks like she went somewhere. Yo is another way for saying seems like. Irashai masenka, so she is not here. Can we talk to them again?
皆さんからお話を伺いたいのですが。
So it looks like we want to talk with them more, kind of like ask questions. Sorry, ask questions or listen to them.
ただいま皆様はこちらにはいらっしゃいません。後ほどご紹介いたします。
Tadaima is another word for saying like now. And again, they're not here. Nochihodo will be later. Goshoukai itashimasu. So we'll introduce them later.
はい、お願いします。
Yes, please do.
手がかりはあるかわかりませんが、皆様とお話になる前に。
Okay, so tegakari was a clue. Aru kamo wa wakarimasen. So I don't know if it's a clue. But this guy at the end here is but. Minasama to ohanashi no inaru mae ni. So before you speak to them, so mae is before, and then talking with them.
菊様が亡くなられた寝室をご覧になりませんか？
So here we go. Where she died, so Kiku died bedroom. So the bedroom where Kiku died. Goron ninarimasen ka? Like, would you like to see the room? Again, this is in the negative to allow us to decline. So it'd be, I guess, wouldn't you like to see the room sort of thing?
そうですね。ではお願いします。
So it's kind of like, yeah, that sounds good. Then please show me. So yeah, just like this. Very nice, please. But I would like to know a little bit more about us. So let's see. 自分のこと。
宇津木探偵事務所の方でしょう。調査の依頼をさせていただきました。
Okay, so he's just saying that we are from the Utsugi Detective Office and has accepted the request for the investigation. Okay. How about Kizuita Koto?
さあ、別にこれといって。
So it looks like he says, like, nothing particularly. Alright, let's move. 移動するKikuの寝室。
ご案内いたします。どうぞ。
So, annai is to guide. So, go annai is a polite way of saying it. And then itashimasu is, again, being very polite. I think itashimasu is humble, maybe? Because he's saying, I will guide. And then dozo is kind of like this way.
.こちらが菊様の寝室です。
Okay. Alright, I think we know all these words, so let's continue.
菊様はこの寝室の布団の上で亡くなっておられました。
Okay, so futon is kind of like the bed, but it goes on the floor directly. So it's like a little mattress. No ue, so she was on top of the futon, and that's how she was found dead. Let's see. Why do we have a machi? Let's ask about a machi.
私にはちょっとわかりかねますが。
Okay, he doesn't know anything about Amachi. Amachi.
この屋敷には 他にも住んでいる人がいるんですか？
Okay, so in this mansion, Hokani is other, and then mo is like also. Sundeiru is live, and then we have person. And then ga iru, so is there a person? So is there anyone else who lives in this mansion?
屋敷には私の他に茜というお手伝いがおります。
Okay, so we have Takushi no Hokani. Akane, that's someone's name. Toyu Otetsudai. So Tetsudai, it looks like a maid or housekeeper.
菊様が亡くなっておられることに最初に気づいたのは茜です。
Okay, before I do that, I do want to mention this. So, something to note is we got ga orimas. Again, orimas I think is the humble form. And the reason why he's using humble when talking about Akane in this case is because Akane and him kind of are like one party. So you have like, you can say like they're part of one circle. So talking to us about her from that perspective, he would still be humble.
屋敷には私の他に茜というお手伝いがおります。
Okay, so back to this one. Kiku-samaが亡くなっておられることに最初に気づいたのは茜だ。Okay, so this first sentence we know. 最初 is first. に気づいた. 気づいた is like to be aware, to notice. And then we're saying no. So this no here is the particle that makes this basically a noun, or rather specifying the person. So the person who noticed first was Akane.
第一発見者か。
And that's basically what it says. So, Daiichi Hakken. So, Hakken is the discovery, Sha is person, and Daiichi is the first. Number one, I guess is another way of saying that.
ぜひ、茜さんにもお話を伺いたいのですが。
So, kind of like, Zehi, like, by all means, I would also like to talk. So, again, this Hanashi o Kagai is like to talk to Akane-san.
今はあいにくと出かけておりますが、間もなく戻ると思います。
Okay, Ainiku. Unfortunately. Okay. Unfortunately, she's also out. So, dekakete orimasu ka? Right now, unfortunately, out. But, momonaku would be like shortly, soon. Modoru, to return. To omoimasu is to think. So this omoimasu uses this to particle, and then this to particle connects to a sentence. Well, we can do yoga. So if we try calling Akane,
今はあいにくと出かけておりますが、
so just the same thing. Okay, let's ask about Akane.
菊様のご遺体を発見したのは茜です。
Okay, nothing new there. Okay, what is this? She.
熊田先生は心不全に間違いないとおっしゃいましたが、
Okay, so Kumada sensei, that we often use sensei to refer to doctors as well as teachers. So Kumada is the person's name. Looks like I think that's the kanji for bear, and that's the kanji for field. And then we have sensei wa shinfuzen. Again, that's heart failure. Machigai nai, so no mistake. To oshaimashita ga. So he said there's no mistake that it was heart failure. Okay.
熊田先生。
Okay. Let's ask about Kumada. Koto.
熊田先生というのはどなたですか？
Okay. Kumada sensei to you know wa donata. So who is he?
菊様のかかりつけの先生で、この村でただ一人のお医者様です。
Okay. So Kakaisuke, I guess, let's see, what does Kakari Suke? Family doctor? Okay. So it's just like the regular doctor. And then this village, the Tada, so like just Hitori one. No, Isha, something like that. So it says he says that the doctor is the family doctor or the regular doctor, but also he's the only doctor in the village, so makes it easy to be the regular doctor.
熊田医院という病院を経営しておられます。
Okay, so we have the Kumada Inn, I guess that's the clinic. We have the doctor. We have kind of like the building for the hospital. Byoin is hospital. Okay, shite oraremasu. Running a business. Okay, so he runs the clinic.
善蔵さんから聞ける話はこれくらいだろうか。となると。
Alright, so it looks like that's all we're going to get from Zenzo-san. Kore kurai is like about this much. Daro is probably. And then to Naruto.
一度熊田先生に会っていただけませんか？
Ichido is one time. Sensei ni atte itadakemasen ka? So like, will you meet him once?
そうしてみます。
Yeah, let's do that. What happens if we try to calling him?
わざわざ来てもらうのも悪いな。こちらから病院に出向こう。
Wazo wazo. Taking trouble, it would be going out of one's way. Okay, so it would be bad to make him come out, make him go through the trouble of coming here. So kite morale is to have him come for us. So this morale is kind of like showing that it would be for our benefit for him to come. And then say Warui is say that would be bad. こちらから病院に出向かう. So we'll head over to meet him at the hospital. Okay, but before we go, I want to look around. Oh, there's a fish jumping in the pond. Is that a good thing?
何か跳ねたような。きっと鯉でも飼っているんだな。
跳ねた。何か跳ねたよ。It's not important, but it looks like Kateru is they have koi fish.
緑が美しい庭だ。
Okay, so this is the kanji for Midori, the color green. And Itsukushi is beautiful. Niwa is garden. We have a lamp here.
灯籠は苔むしている。
Total. It's just a garden lantern. Okay. And then koke mushi shiteru. Okay. Koke musu is to become covered in moss. Alright, so I guess this lantern is covered in moss. Okay. You can't examine the tatami. We have this nice hanging picture.
山が描かれた掛け軸だ。
I think this kaku is like for drawing. And this is in passive tense. So the mountain that was drawn, and then this kake is kind of like hanging. Jiku. Hanging scroll. Look at. Shashin. Shashin is picture.
古そうなモノクロの写真が並んでいる。
Furuso, so looks old. Monochrome would be monochrome, so black and white. Narandeiru is lined up.
この本だけ放り出されている。読みかけだったんだろうか。
Horidasareteru. Okay. It's like horidasu. Throw out? I don't think that's what's going on. Let's look at it more intense. Dropped, maybe? Leaved behind? But it's the only book that is out. Yomikake is like half read. Okay, I don't think we have anything else that's important. So I think now is a good time to stop. This has already gone pretty long. So thank you for joining. If you have feedback on the Let's Play, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you, and I hope to see you next time.